Hey guys, what's up? So this is Moclefmusic, and today's saxophone tutorial is going to be totally different from what you've always been getting. So for today's saxophone tutorial, we'll be teaching you baby or basic steps to improvisation. So be you a beginner, an intermediate, or an advanced saxophone player, just sit back, relax, and listen carefully. Just three basic steps you need to follow. There'll be more series on this, but this is the first one. Now, for the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to be talking about the major scale. Now, especially for beginners, you are always tempted to, how do I put this? You're tempted to want to pick up your saxophone, and the next thing you want to play is a phrase. You pick up a phrase that you heard somewhere, or a friend told you so about it, and you just want to pick it up and bam, you want to start playing it. Now, that's a common mistake that every saxophonist usually make. You just want to pick up your saxophone and you're thinking, oh, once I'm able to play this phrase, I'm able to play this phrase here and there. I'm the dawn of saxophone, and man, the world will hear my name and the world will know me. No, that shit doesn't work like that. You need to be patient. You need to be consistent with not just practicing, but with the right information. So if we go by your major scale that we talked about, this is one thing that most saxophone players are not intentional about. I'll say this because most times, like I said earlier, most saxophonists tend to want to just play phrases. Every time you pick up your saxophone, what's in your brain is, I want to play this phrase, I want to play that phrase, and that's not how it works. One of the things you need to know how to do really well is using your major scale, like really knowing your major scale so well to the point where you can apply it in anything, shift from any key to any key, to also use this major scale. So indirectly, one of the things I've been saying is that you have to practice your major scale on all 12 keys. Now, one of the things that this will help you achieve is that you'll be flexible when it comes to thinking ahead. And for thinking ahead, we know that to be anticipation. And one reason why I am not saying anticipation is because we are trying to make this whole English thing really easy so that everybody out there will be able to understand what we are saying. Because when you say anticipation, some people might not understand. So what anticipation basically means is you predicting something, and by prediction we mean you knowing that this thing wants to happen just before it happens. So you are ahead of the game. So bringing this same scenario to music or to your saxophone playing, what learning the major scale on all 12 keys will help you achieve is knowing the music way ahead of time. Because when you practice this major scale over and over and over again on all 12 keys, don't forget, because you don't try to practice your major scale on G or D or any key you feel like or you love. Because most saxophonists, including myself, when back then when I just started playing the saxophone, you have favorite keys. You want to play some and leave the others. No, learn it on all 12 keys so you can be flexible, and so that your foundation in not just the saxophone but also music will be solid. Now, until you are able to master this major scale on all 12 keys, be disciplined enough not to do other things. Now, I'm not saying don't carry other things along, but give yourself some time to practice this major scale on all 12 keys. No matter how it is with you with time. What I mean is, some people don't have so much time, while some others have so much time. Now, if you don't have so much time in your hands, let's say you have a family, you are busy with so many things, with school, and life will throw you a lot of stuffs. What you have to do is make out time to make sure that every blessed day, when I mean every day, I mean every day, you would touch your major scale on all 12 keys. I remember this great trumpeter, Wynton Marsalis. Yes, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. Wynton Marsalis. He talked about growing up as a young musician and how he struggled through life. You understand? It wasn't easy for him because he was working 2-3 jobs at a time. But one thing that was his goal every day, once he comes back from work, was he must make sure that he practices his trumpet. And he doesn't just practice this trumpet. He has a practice routine, which means there are a set of stuffs, vocabulary, set of information that he has built over time that are his practice routine, that he makes sure that every day he comes back, whether he feels like it or he doesn't feel like it, because he's disciplined, he will touch the saxophone. He says some days it might be for 10 minutes or less, but what he does is that practice routine he wants to do for that day, he makes sure he does it on all 12 keys. So if it's his major scale, he picks it, even if it's to do it just once on your key C, on your C sharp, on your D, on your D sharp, on your E, on your F, all the way up to your B. He said he does that on all 12 keys, and then he feels fulfilled for that day. Now, don't forget, most times when you want to embark on a journey like this, one of the challenges you are going to face is that it's going to be really boring. I'll repeat that again. It's going to be really boring. So what you want to do is always remember that your destination is what matters, not what you're going through. All you have to do is enjoy the process. I'm saying enjoy the process because there's no other way for you to keep going, especially for those people that don't have people to practice with or for someone to encourage them. Because I remember back then when I started, it was a bit of a problem. I won't lie. Yeah, it was. In fact, it became a problem until I got used to practicing alone. Like, I just had to start practicing alone. And by the grace of God, when I gradually began to come out, even without knowing that I was gaining recognition, because I was really focused on my craft. Like, all I was focused on was just mastering this saxophone, being a virtuoso, being a veteran, being one of the best saxophonists in the world, all the way from Africa. That was all that was in my mind. I just want to be the best. And same thing I noticed with Wynton Marsalis. He just wanted to be the best, and no matter what life throws at him, he always practices. Same thing I did. You have to just keep practicing. There's no end to practice, because the day you stop practicing or the day you stop learning is the day you die. You understand? So you just have to keep going, keep pushing yourself until you reach your mark. So like I said earlier, it's going to be a really boring journey, but all you have to do is just keep going, keep pushing yourself until you reach that goal. And when you reach that goal, you're not supposed to stop there. You open up yourself for more. And when you reach that one, you open up yourself for the next. So that's for that. Now, for the next step is going to be listening. So listening, if I try to put that in a way that you would totally understand, listening just means you listening to not just your favorite saxophonist, but every other music that you actually don't like. Now, this is what this will do for you. When you listen to every other variety of music, except the one, or rather, including the ones you love, you open up yourself to becoming a vast saxophonist. You become versatile. You become very flexible, so that we are not just in Africa here, or rather, if I'm being really specific, in Nigeria, there's one thing we call praise and worship. You know, most saxophonists just love to become praise and worship saxophone, which is saxophonists rather, praise and worship that gospel saxophonist. And that's a good thing. I'm not saying that's not good, because that's one way to praise God. And you know now, like we all know, He is the author and finisher of our faith. You understand? So you have to praise God whether you like it or not. Well, I'm not saying don't praise God, but what I'm saying is be open to other styles of music. Listen to other styles of music. get acquainted with other styles of music, so that over time you'll be able to pick up vocabularies from those kind of music. It can be jazz. I'm not a jazz saxophonist. I'm a smooth jazz saxophonist. I'm both a smooth jazz and a contemporary saxophonist. So it doesn't mean I don't listen to jazz music. It doesn't mean I've not picked up one or two things from jazz music. I have. I might not be playing it. I might not be scoring it much, but this is what I do. If I listen to jazz music and I hear, so family, give me what did they tell us about? They do that. You understand? They do it with a certain kind of articulation. What I do is, I'll slow it down if I can't hear it correctly. And I keep listening to that place over and over. Once I get the note, all I do is bring that note, those notes, score it, master it, check if it's something I should do on all 12 keys, because it's not everything you should practice on all your 12 keys. There are some things that are left specially for some keys. Just like when you score a song, if you score a song on a certain key, there are some things on that key that you will move to other keys, but when you do it on those keys, it won't feel the same. But when you do it on that key, it will feel so good. So there are some things that is not necessarily, it will not be necessary for you to move to other keys. While there are some, you can move it on all other keys. So like I said earlier, what listening will do for you is what make you versatile, make you open to all styles of music, so that when you play your saxophone, you will become a body, or a, how do I say it? Is it a composer? See, please, I'm not an English person, but I'm sure you know what I mean. You become someone that is vast in music, in thinking, and you become wild when it comes to communication. I mean, communicating or expressing yourself to your audience, so that way, when you express yourself, they understand you and you also understand them. That way, you're able to reach out to the hearts of your audience. Now, for the third step, this will be scoring. Now, remember we talked about the first step, which is your major scale, and the next step, which is listening. Now, for the third step, we're talking about scoring. Now, scoring doesn't necessarily mean you must just pick up the song and start playing immediately and start scoring it immediately. No. You'll not be able to reach into the heart and the mind of the composer. Now, for you to be able to reach into the heart and the mind of the composer of whatever thing you're scoring, so that way you will be able to express it in a way that when you play it, you will sound almost like that person, if not like that person. Is that you have to listen to it over and over again. You need to do this because before having your own voice on the saxophone, you will have to follow a mentor. You have to follow a mentor, a role model, someone that you can reach out to, that can guide you. And when you don't have this, and you have like a role model that is far from you, you have to score them. And when you want to score, when you want to do the scoring, you have to do a lot of listening. You can see that everything is linked from the first step to the second step, from the first step, which is practicing your major scale, to the second step, which is listening, and to this very third step, which is what scoring. They are all linked. Before you score a song, listen to that song over and over, sometimes months before you even score it. Because when you listen to this thing over and over and over and over, unconsciously, your subconscious begin to register every note, every point, every sound, every chord progression, everything about the song, down to even the mistakes. You begin to figure out, this was a mistake, but well, it's part of it. You understand? So what this helps you to do is, it helps you to enter into the mind of the composer and be able to sync with that music, so that way, once you pick up this song to finally score it, after months of listening to it, you will do it so easily. Even when you're writing down the notes, it will be so easy. It will be definitely super easy for you to score. And one other advantage of scoring songs is that it will build your vocabulary, because as you score these songs, you definitely will be picking one or two phrases, one or two voicings from this saxophonist or from this leadist or from whoever you are scoring. And then before we move on, or rather before we bring this this saxophone tutorial to an end, I need you to know that one advantage of scoring is that you become a better musician, because it will help you to be able to carry on the legacy of music or saxophone playing from where it was till this very time that you are in right now. Because there is nothing that you want to play on the saxophone that is new. Trust me, it's just the same way that there is nothing new on this very planet. You understand? Everything, you are just going in circles. Trust me, everything you're going to do, no matter the idea you think you're bringing out, you're the first person to do this or the first person to do that. Trust me, you are not. You just didn't know that someone had done it before you, that has even died. Even right now that you are doing it, somebody else somewhere in the world is doing the same thing. So make sure to, step one, practice your major scale on all 12, major scale on all 12 keys. Practice it every day and make sure you're consistent. And step two, make sure you do a lot of listening. Make sure you do a lot of listening. And then step three, make sure you do a lot of scoring. Because with these 3 steps, trust me, you're on your way to becoming a badass saxophonist. So for now, before we draw the curtain to a close, I need you to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share this video. I'm sure most of you have learned a lot from it, and you need to share so that every other saxophonist that will need this information will be able to reach it. Right now, don't forget to hit the notification bell, because we will be posting more basic or baby steps to improvisation. So for now, it's a goodbye from Moclefmusic.